Thanks so much for joining us. This is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online, and today is our Online Awakening panel. Our panels often have different themes. Today's theme is The Witch's Familiar and Animal Communication. There are 7 practitioners on the panel tonight. It's free to be here to listen and learn, and a small price to ask a question of the panel. We will be introducing ourselves and then talking about the theme, and then setting the container for answering questions. Yeah, so you get a chance to learn who everyone is on the panel, find out what we do. Practitioners, I encourage you to share the range of all the things you do, not only talk about the theme. Since we all do many things and not focus only on animals, let's see if we can talk about all of what we do first, and then we'll come back and do a round and talk about the theme. All right, great. And maybe I'm like, where do we start? Where do we start? Let's go in a similar order that we were before. I think it was Susy, Tammy, Anissa, Hannah, DoveLight, and then Thorne. All right, so go ahead, take a couple of minutes and tell us what you do.
Okay. Hiya. It's been a while since I've been here. This is so great to be able to get back in touch with the community. My name is Susy Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing, and I am a channel. So what that means is that I bring source through in a way that embodies so that you can relate to whoever comes up. You want to talk to a spirit guide? Great. I can talk to a lot of spirit guides. I can talk as a lot of spirit guides, carrying that energy through so that you can have a face-to-face conversation with them. I also look at past lives. That was the modality that really got me kick-started here. Past lives, patterns from past lives can come forward and impact you now in the here and in the now. And then you have soul family that will come back with whatever soul contract you have. And you can look at all these different aspects, say, of relationships or power or money. Even your animal companions can come back and follow you through lives. And my understanding is with past lives, you don't always have to be a human. You can be an intergalactic, you can be from the Fae, you can be even your pet or an animal. So you can communicate with them the same way we communicate intuitively with the body or with source or whatever. Other things I do is that I do light language. It was activated a couple of years ago, and I've been doing all kinds of light language with different spirit energies. And I think I'm doing like the elements. We just had snow today, and I'm probably going to light language some snow stuff that I can light language, and that helps. The frequencies help to shift your energy so that you can find a clearer path to healing. And that's the point of what I do, is to help you clear out the blockages, whether it's energetically or even in your body, so that you can find a clearer path to your higher purpose. I have a special tonight. It's 20% off a longer session. You can go to bluelightninghealing.com and use the code MeWe20 to activate that discount. And I am so excited to be here. I'm looking forward to having all kinds of great conversation tonight. Thanks.
Great, and I'll just clarify, the specials are if you want to work with one of the practitioners outside of the panel. So it's a great opportunity to work with them at a lower price or a smaller package and get a sense of going deeper with them with something. And also having an opportunity that you wouldn't have if you're not here at the panel. All right, great. Tammy is next.
All right, I'm Tammy Joyful, and my website is tammyjoyful.com. I'm Tammy Joyful on the social media. I am an animal communicator and also a medium. I do life transformation sessions where it's similar to what Susy said regarding removing blocks and things like that. I am a conduit for divine pure source and allowing that healing and love and guidance and messages to come through me to you. And psychic medium, I do spiritual guidance. I have classes and workshops that to teach you how to communicate with your animals and to listen, which is more important. So yeah, I have a special tonight too, the $40 for a 30-minute session, which is 40% off. And I look forward to talking to you and communicating with you. And the animals here are ready to talk to you. Take care.
Thanks so much, Tammy. And this is next.
Laureli, we're going to go ahead and switch now.
Okay, let me get you on up here. Great.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Anissa Jade, and I'm a newer practitioner to public events. So my bio description isn't that clean and crisp yet. So I'll just do a little bit of background about me, since I don't offer as many offerings as my fellow practitioners. I am an intuitive reader and animal communicator, but I've always been a part of the spiritual and metaphysical world to varying degrees. When I was younger, I told my mom I talked to angels. But somewhere growing up, I lost a lot of that spirituality and conformed to society's norms and was dealing with health issues that I kind of lost connection to my own intuition. It wasn't until I started working for MeWe behind the scenes that I started to really begin my journey getting back into owning my intuition and practicing my gifts. So like I said, I'm an intuitive reader, and I also do animal communication. My website is anissajade.com, and I can also be reached by text at 541-325-4441. So thank you very much for being here tonight. I look forward to it.
Thanks so much, Anissa. Excited to have you be stepping up on the panels and not just supporting everything from behind the scenes. All right, we've got Hannah, and then DoveLight, and then Thorne.
Everyone, I'm Hannah York with Holistic Healing by Hannah. It's going to be found at holistichealingbyhannah.com. I'm here as a medical intuitive, and with that, I help you connect to the energy of whatever's happening in your body. You know, our emotions, our energy, anything that we're struggling with can get stuck in our body if we're not aware of it or resolving or processing it. And unfortunately, that also counts for energy from, past lives, from our ancestors, from childhood. And so I help you connect with yourself, and we go back and identify and then release the energy. And so sometimes that's past life reading, sometimes it's connecting with your ancestors, your inner child, the elements. So in a way, on the surface, it's medical intuitive, but as we dive deeper, we are connecting in so many different ways to bring those answers to the surface for yourself. And same thing can be said for your furry friends or your feathered friends. I only have furry friends. I guess we could go scale too, but it works for all of them. I can't wait to see what questions you guys might have for your pets. And we'll talk to you later.
Thanks so much, Hannah. DoveLight.
I'm trying to do my witchy laugh. I don't have a witch companionship, but I do have a dog, and I grew up surrounded by dogs. And recently, I got a cat because my brother just moved in with us, and he brought a cat from Peru. And the first thing that the cat comes is to ask me, "Where are my friends? Do you have pate? Do you have pate?" I was like, "What is pate?" I didn't even know this cat is already talking to me. I'm a soul frequency reader because I chose to connect to my soul. I'm just a regular person. I need this human part to survive. I need to be able to be on time to work. I need to be able to plan my cooking shopping list. I need to be able to pay my bills. I need to be able to help my family members with school, just like everyone else has responsibilities. But there is a part of you which is non-physical, your spirit, your soul, if you choose to call it that way. That part is connected to the all, just the same way that your stomach is connected to the digestive system, and your body is connected to your family to the community to the state. And just like this planet is connected to the galaxy, we are not a single island. We all connected to the all. The animals are part of this big cell called Earth. And because there are experiences of life on Earth, they do have a physical and non-physical part. A cat, a dog, a bird, any type of animal has their own personality, like earthly personality. You will see, oh, my cat prefer this type of food, or my dog prefer play with the ball than doing something else. But they also have this higher self because they also have a spirit. And because we have chosen to connect with a spirit, if you choose to do so, we are more open to listen to that frequency. It's like a Wi-Fi, like a radio. I will not be able to do past life regression, ancestral healing, circles, shamanic practices, everything that I do if I cannot connect to my soul, because my brain will be switching to the mundane. And there's nothing wrong with the mundane. We are meant to be living, but the spiritual part within us, it knows no limits, no boundaries. And through that oneness is that we're able to tap in the frequency and be able to listen to the animals. So today we are presenting this topic, and as a soul frequency reader, I can tap in into, if I'm allowed to do so also, I'm not very intrusive, to the animal's frequency, to the personality, and also to the higher self. And such a beautiful topic, because that's about oneness, about unconditional love that they came to teach us. And we'll talk more about it, but that's who I am. I'm a soul frequency reader, a regular person, and a connection with the divine, like everybody else. Thank you. Oh, and I have this 20% coupon discount. It's called Soul, for any session of choice of reading. Thank you.
Great, thank you, DoveLight, and thanks so much, Daniel, for making a contribution for the interpreters. We deeply appreciate everyone contributing to the interpreters to help us continue to sustain the events and have Thorne show up and participate more often. We love having Thorne here. All right, let's see. Thorne's going to introduce himself. Let me remove a few of us from the spotlight so it's easier for them to see each other. And I'm going to take away a couple more. Just one moment. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Thorne. This is my name sign. I go by he, they, his. I'm an animal communicator, connections, and all of that started showing up in my experience together in work. And so now that's led, you know, in with my friends, my family, animals, medicine, normal connections. Sometimes those things will show up, and, you know, I practiced myself for a really long time and I gained those skills. So I do tarot cards. I'm an energy worker, helper. I can help clean your energies, get rid of spirits, things like that. Astrology reader. I have a lot of other different skills and gifts that I like to use, but those are going to be my top ones. So animal spirits, I do have some skills in theirs, and I'm really excited to be included in that. So I'm super excited to be here tonight to chat with everyone and just engage. And also, if you have questions, thank you. I'm so excited that Anissa's here and joining us front and center. Thank you so much. My website is www.oracle. And so if you have any questions for me, I'm sure they'll leave it in the chat. And I do have a special tonight that's going to be a little bit discounted, half-hour reading with me. And those are going to be my hourly rates. So thank you guys so much. I'm super excited to be here.
Great. And I just want to clarify, because I didn't hear everything. Thorne's website is spiritoracle.com.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you so much, Laureli.
Sure, you're welcome. All right, let's add a few more of us back in here. And now we're going to be talking more about the theme. So practitioners will go around again. I know some of you shared a little bit already, and we're going to have a chance to share more about the theme tonight, which is familiar and animal communication. So go ahead if you want to start off, Susy, and then we'll come around, and you're all welcome to jump back in and share more as we go along as well. And feel free if you want to add anything else about yourself that you thought of as we were going around.
Thanks, Laureli. A witch is familiar is a being that works with a practitioner. I haven't had one for a while. We have a dog, Cosmo, and everybody's showing off their animals. It's like, oh, that's so nice. Cosmo's kind of big, terribly clumsy, and I've been told he was going to be helping in healing work, and I still have to work on establishing that connection, and that's part of that familiar and animal communication, is developing that connection. So I've been working Not diligently, but I do talk to the dog and we move along with it. However, I also have other familiars. I love working with my dragons, and they help me and they have guided me through all sorts of experiences and present wisdom. I feel that animals contain, or they are containers for wisdom that, being in the human body, we forget when we decide to be born. We kind of forget a lot of our stuff. And yet there is Mother Nature out there and animals who retain that wisdom. And if we take that time to be quiet, to still our own minds, to still our own that monkey mind that we have going, that we can connect with the wisdom and with the animals in such a way that it helps us clear out stuff and move forward in life. I don't know if I'll ever become like Dr. Doolittle and who can talk to all the animals, but I sure do enjoy reaching out and connecting, say, with the trees that we have around here. I was connecting pretty deeply with the snow here. So it's not just animals, it's being able to connect with source in such a way that you open up and can move with the flow of the energy that's around you. Yeah, I'm going to call it at that. And so next, thanks.
Thanks, Susie. Okay, Tammy's next.
Tammy Joyful here again. And yeah, I share messages, healing and guidance, to bring awareness to how wise our animals are. We just, sometimes we don't realize or don't take the time to listen and realize how wise they really are, and that they do have information to share with us, and also, a passion of mine is to, help others to communicate with their animals, to pay attention to what they want and what they're asking for, or what they want you to know. Sometimes they want to tell you how how you can connect, and how you can reach out and develop your skills, because I believe everybody has the skills to the intuitive skills to communicate, especially with their own animals and other animals. And as Susie was saying, with the trees and with the snow, and the rain. And I was talking to the rain the other day, and the rivers, and it's just a beautiful sharing of wisdom, and not even just talking. Sometimes you can just be in the trees and just sharing that energy and sharing the beautiful wisdom through the ages. So I want stronger relationships between us and our animals. I want people to know and believe how wise they are, and know that they're here to help us and be on this path together, and learning and sharing and growing. And we all want to feel heard and valued. We want to have great relationships. And, some animals start by sharing specific preferences that they have, and some have strong opinions on your life and changes that you want to make in your life. My intention is to connect with you, your pet, our higher selves, our guidance, our source energy, to get a well-rounded perspective of your questions. And most animals, want to please you, and almost every animal I've ever talked to wanted to communicate more, for you to listen more, and to talk to them more too. Sometimes we talk to them, but it's just kind of chatter. It's like talking without kind of believing that they're listening. But talking with the intention and belief that they do understand and hear you is different than just the chatter that sometimes we have with the animals. So I would like to increase your connection and to help your household be, a more harmonious household. So I'm here to answer any questions, and love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tammy. Anissa's next.
So when I was thinking about tonight's theme, I thought I would share a story about how the closest I think I've ever had to a familiar, which would have been my childhood dog, whose name was Little Lady. Not that creative, I know, but I was only 4. But my father passed away when I was quite young, and we received this angel of a dog, this angel in dog form shortly after he passed away. And she became my therapist, my confidant, my best friend. My mom often said that she would find both my brother and I just talking to our dog, sharing our struggles, sharing our grief. And she became the closest thing to an angel on earth that, sorry, I keep saying angel, but that's what she is. And I get emotional when I talk about her because of how special she was and is. I have a genetic disorder where my body fluctuates in pain and degree of severity of how bad I'm doing. And my mom would always know how bad I was doing where Lady was sleeping. If she was up near my head, it was a bad pain day. If she was near my waist, it was an okay day. If she was at my feet, then my mom knew, oh, it's okay to wake Ness up if she needed me for some reason, because she could tell how I was doing based on how sweet Little Lady was laying with me. So that's the closest familiar I've ever had. I would like this guy, Belvedere, who's sleeping on my bed, to be my familiar, but we haven't really worked on that relationship, similar to Susy. But I just wanted to share my story of Little Lady, because I'm sure a lot of us have had that one, hopefully more, animal that has just been mind-blowingly amazing and the best relationship we've ever had. Or at least I hope that for you. Oh, and one quick thing, I work best with pictures of animals. So if you wouldn't mind going through the hundreds of photos that you have on your cell phone to be able to bring up to either download in chat or show on your screen, that would be helpful for me when it's time for questions. Thank you.
And great, we got a nice general question in the chat too, so we'll be able to address that before we jump into questions. Yeah, if anyone wants to address it as they're sharing the next round, go ahead. It's how do you know if your animal is a familiar? So let's see, I think Hannah's next, and then DoveLight, and then Thorne, chatting about the theme.
So I'm Hannah again, and so I, following with what Anissa said, sharing about, animal stories. My animals, I wouldn't necessarily consider any of them actually my familiar, but they will show up in different client sessions. Like when I'm doing energy healing sessions or doing work for other people, it's oddly enough not the one that's currently on my lap, but the other kitty, she'll hop on up and she'll actually lay on my chest or she'll lay on my legs. And she asks me, well, she doesn't ask, she just does it. But I ask the client's permission if they want to receive healing energy from her. Well, I'm also working on them and they can feel the energy coming from her. It's okay, Zoe, I'm not volunteering you. My other cat just shifted, like, not me. So they all have different gifts and abilities to work with. So I have 2 cats and 2 dogs, and it always amazes me which of them come in when I'm working with certain clients on Zoom. It's like they know as soon as I'm getting ready to do an appointment when it's like their person, they're going to come in and help me with or support that person energetically. And as a medical intuitive, when I'm working on animals that are in pain or discomfort or just, the owners such as have general questions because they're curious about what's going on with their babies. I always say, at least for me in my experience, like if it's the trauma or the issue that they're experiencing is coming from their previous life, as in like before you, not past life, but just like their previous life without you, then I can typically clear their energy and help them get feeling better a lot quicker, just working on their energy. So I'm going to disconnect them from the energy of their previous owners and their previous experiences. So they're releasing them from those old contracts and inviting them to establish a new relationship with who you are, with their current people. If they're experiencing a new discomfort, like while they're with you, and this is not to blame anybody, by the way, they love to take on our stuff. That's what they're here for, especially my dog. So a lot of times if I'm kind of like renegotiating their soul contracts to help me, I have to reword it in such a way like, okay, yes, you can support me, but let's, can we make this less burdensome for you? Can we make it so that you're not actually having physical pain? And I'm going to tell you, it's a funny story because everybody's fine now. It was not funny at the time. Mr. Ernie swallowed a squeaker toy and he had to have surgery. Like, and so I was working with him on a soul contract and I said, oh, you're supporting me. You're trying to give me a message. Can we make it so that's not so life-threatening? He's like, got it. 3 months later, he blows out a tendon in his knee. It's like, that was less serious. I'm like, still, yeah, okay. Got to be a little bit more specific. But they do communicate with us, and it was because they were taking on our stuff, mine and my husband's. So that's just, and it's not a bad thing. It's just allowing them to support us because that's what they came in to do. And so I just want you guys to honor yourselves if you're looking at your pets and you feel like they are struggling. That was their choice. They want to help us. They want to take on our stuff, but they're more than happy to actually communicate with you and try to come to a different agreement. And so that's something that you guys can kind of try to work on with your own animals too, because they understand you. They do. I was complaining about my cat waking me up in the middle of the night like 10 times to my husband, who's out of town. No joke. She jumped up and started like chatting in the phone at my husband to tell him her side of the story, saying, no, that's not how it happened. But I'm going to pass it on to the next person now.
Thanks so much, Hannah. We've got DoveLight and then Thorne.
Oh my God, thank you for sharing that. Like, I have so many stories about that. Oh my God, it's crazy. My sister once she has to pray to God, like on her knee, please, to Lala, her dog. She was like, don't take my illness. I don't want nothing to happen to you. I don't need, she was have to be a specific, straight up, because they have so much unconditional love and they're surrounded by, according to us, our myths or belief, it's not, everybody perhaps in different part of the world might have a different, but the soul of the animal, the consciousness, plant has consciousness, animals have consciousness, living creatures have consciousness, we have a consciousness, and that goes beyond the physical. The consciousness is one, it's always experimenting to grow and keep expanding because it's eternal. So when a consciousness starts learning to live experience as a pet, sometimes they sign soul contracts before coming to your own human experience so they can learn together from that. So animals have this amazing unconditional love because that's who they are, that's how they're learning, that's how they experience. But because they're learning with us, sometimes they sign up to teach us about ourselves, things that we cannot see. For example, there was a time in my life when I was very afraid of men. I was extremely scared of men. And my dog at that time, she will bark at any man who tried to bite her for no reason, apparently. And well, he was okay with women, but for any man, not even my own dad, not even the people who live with her, so far as she will not do it. What she was trying to teach me at that time is that I need to address my own fear of men that I couldn't see it myself. It's just because it's about shedding the snake skin. Sometimes you have this strong belief or this strong fear for so long, you forgot that you have you take them for granted. So I knew it in the background that I was afraid of men, but I wasn't doing anything about it because that was my normal. So, but I do not have to live with that fear. So my dog came to show me this through his behavior. I'm sorry, I speak Spanish, so sometimes my mind, gets like this. And it happened to a friend also that she was not able to speak up at her job, and her cat will go all night, meow, 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 for no apparent reason. Sometimes they just want to have fun to the moon or want to hang out with their cat's friends in the neighborhood. It will not stop. She took him to the doctor, animal behaviors, nothing will happen. And then she was doing a meditation with some friends, and it keeps coming that she was afraid to speak up at her job. She was afraid to speak up to people because she learned to quiet herself, and she learned that her voice was not important, which was a lie. But because she learned it for so long, she didn't know how to do different. But the cat knew it. The cat higher consciousness knew that I'm going to help you through this. So when she started doing more conscious choices to learn that her voice was valuable, the cat's meows all night started decreasing, literally. And I'm not a fanatic. If you know your own animals, if they have to take it to the vet to be checked up, please do so. Do you understand? But sometimes if they're okay and there is really no apparent reason at all, most likely they're so smart that it has to be more spiritual. Like, I know what you're passing through. I cannot tell you in English, but I'm going to help you through my behavior. So I just wanted to honor that they have so much love for us. They're willing to help us in ways that we might not even imagine. So thank you for that. I'll pass it to the next person.
Thank you so much, DoveLight. I'm going to pull a few of us off Spotlight so Thorne can share next.
All right, we looking good? There we go. Okay. All right, with animal guides and animal relationships, I've had a few experiences in the past, but the one that's coming to mind right now was when I was traveling. I met up with a friend of a friend, really, and we were traveling together. This was before COVID, let me be very clear. Gosh, what a time. Anyway, it was in the Midwest somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but we were driving along and I saw a deer on the side of the road. It had obviously passed away. But I was surprised to feel concern, and I felt something in that moment. I asked my friend if they wouldn't mind pulling over, and so that I would be able to offer a little bit of guidance for the animal spirit to move on to the next world. And so we pulled over, we walked over. It was really quick, held this small little ritual, and we moved on. But it kind of kept with me, and it was interesting. You know, if I wasn't paying attention, if I wasn't looking to my sides, if I wasn't looking at my periphery, I would have passed right by and not even noticed. So it was a really nice reminder to pay attention. And it's important to pay attention to everything in our environment. I've got another story. This was way long ago. One of my dear friends, we were texting. We are long distance friends. They live in California and I'm here in Portland. So we were just texting back and forth. And their cat they have 3 cats, and one of them had gone missing. And so they hit me up trying to see if I could help them. Like, okay, yeah, absolutely. So I worked with my pendulum and my tarot, and so I dipped into their energy and I asked my friend, what does your cat look like? What does your cat feel like? And so that I could kind of bring that into mind. And it worked. I was able to reach out and feel that cat's spirit and their energy. And so I was trying to figure out where the cat was. And so I became the channel for their cats. And I explained to my friend that cat wasn't ready to come home yet. And my friend was like, okay, fine, I'll wait. I checked back in after a little while and just to follow up. And my friend said that, yeah, my cat hasn't shown up yet, but I can feel them close. Would you mind helping again? And so I did. And a little bit later on, the cat showed up back at home. And this was kind of a reminder of how human time and animal time can be a little bit different. That was one of my favorite lessons from that experience of, you know, how can we expect animals to follow our time? You know, we need to trust their process, allow them to go on their own journey. And sometimes they're going to come home and sometimes they're not, you know. And I have also had experience of supporting people through the loss of a pet or an animal. And it's always an honor to be able to check in with people on that level of their lives. It's always a really beautiful experience. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to be here and I'm looking forward to this chat tonight. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much. Let me bring everyone back. Practitioners, is there anything else you want to share just about the theme before we get started? Maybe I'll say a little teeny bit about me too. This is not my
Laureli,
specialty.
we're also going to be switching interpreters.
Okay, great. Let me. There we go. I think you're up now. Yeah, so practitioners, anything else you want to share about the theme? And did anyone have any other answers to how to know if one's animal is a familiar?
My concept of familiar, it's different, maybe because I'm from Peru or South America, might be different, but we notice with growing up, we always had a black dog. And actually my very first pet was a black cat. And then when we moved to different places with my family, my brother in his own family, they have a black cat. And I noticed that my sister later on got a black dog. And also she has also a pit bull and another type of dog. But then I realized I also have a black dog, but we didn't do it on purpose. You know, either we found them under a car or somebody gave them away, or my brother decided to go to the shelter. And then I realized growing up, we also will have, out of all our animals, always either a black cat or a black dog. So later on, when I was more conscious about shamanism and talking to the spirits of the animal, we realized that because of my ancestral lineage and in the South, we believe too much in the jaguar power. So the black jaguar was familiar. It's like a guardian protector, not only of my personal, but of my family, because I have ancestry in the Amazon. So sometimes a familiar might be the symbol of an animal or the spirit of an animal who might be ancestral as well. For us, we knew specifically it was a black jaguar because all these coincidences. So that's a little bit slight different concept of what a familiar might be. And we all have familiars. We all have a special connection to the soul of our animals. So we'll just remember that animal communication is about speaking and listening. And in spirituality, we have this called listening with the heart. The heart center, the heart chakra, has connection to all the chakras or energy system above and all the chakras and energies below. So it's like the center where you can access all. So when we're saying listening with the heart, that doesn't necessarily mean listening like we humans do with our ears. You might be able to listen through pictures. You might be able to listen through smells. You might be able to listen to feelings or emotions, because we're working with all the chakras within the heart field. So please don't be discouraged if you read books or hear people, the way that they are getting the information from the animals might be different from you. And remember, the practice makes practical. So it's your willingness to be able to allow time to rewire your brain to how to listen, because we absolutely all can do this. We all part of the animal kingdom. It's our birthright. Thank you.
Great, great. Thanks so much. Anyone else? Anything else to share about that, of how to know? Oh, go ahead. Can you do it without me moving everyone? Is it brief?
I'm zooming in a little bit myself, so we're good. So just a short little tidbit that I wanted to add here. So with what she was saying, you know, how do you know that there's these different familiars and, you know, compared to normal animals? And understand that a familiar, it's kind of the same thing. So it could be connected to your ancestors, to your past life. It is possible, or even yourself. It's a soul connection to yourself, like they relate to you. So understand that I'm picking the soul. No, they're picking us. And so it's just really interesting. So normal animals, again, can be the same and we pick them. But with a familiar, they pick us. And so I just think that's really important. Now, the third thing to share a little bit of history related to that word familiar and animals is that a long time ago, maybe the 16th century, you know, we had the Salem trials. We all know about that, the Salem witch trials. Well, history related to that is that they used to, so with this person that they identified as a witch, you know, they would judge them, they're looking at them, and black cats were usually the same, black cats and dogs, pigs too. So we'd look at the different kinds of like animals that were there, the trials, the judgment, and that became a negative stereotype. So black animals, they're considered not lucky. And so now, today, you know, we take that, we're kind of taking that back and we're changing the connotation of that. Now they are lucky. We love them. And we love all different kinds of colors of animals, and that's perfectly okay. But, you know, now it's a special kind of magic for us. So I just thought that was important that we kind of open up, you know, your heart and open up your mind to recognize the history of that as well, right? Just to notice it. We want to pay homage to history, not get stuck on it, so to speak, but just to know about it. So just a little fun fact there.
Thank you so much, Thorne. Great. Just so you know a little bit about who I am, helping run things. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and matchmaker. I read your soul in your eyes. I can read animals' eyes a little bit. And one of my dear, sweet friends is in my photo. Unfortunately, he did not stay on this plane to help me on this plane, and he still helps me from afar. His energy is still here. It's a Lotte. Oh, and a matchmaker. I mean that I literally connect people with similar eyes, similar souls as soulmates. So I do conscious online dating. And people in general are so much better at picking soulmates in their animals and picking animals that are similar and that really get them. They have the hardest time with people in general. And oh my gosh, they do so much better with their pets. They really find each other. People feel so much more at ease when they choose an animal. And as a result, they're being more authentic and they're able to tune into the energy of the animal so much more, and they're able to sense whether it's a fit or not a fit. Of course, sometimes that doesn't happen. And we in general are so much better at finding that great connection with our animals. So yeah. All right, so I might share something tonight and I might just facilitate from the background, and you can learn more about me online too at LaureliShimayo.com. Go ahead, Thorne.
So just another little thing that I wanted to throw in there, it just kind of popped up. But that hearing people and their dogs, their cats, their animals, you know, various types, but understand that also deaf people do that as well. So deaf, blind, you know, we can sign, we interact like this. And just in general, it's important to remember that it's not only limited to hearing. There's so many other things and so many other paths that we can connect on. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. Thank you.
Yes, and the way I tap into someone's soul, palm readers touch into it, and people that read ears, and all kinds of different ways that we connect with each other. Some people through touch. There are all ways that we connect to each other's energies. All right. Well, let's see. So I think we're getting ready to answer some questions. We have at least 3 people in line, Jen, Mary, and Sue at the moment. So before we start answering, this is a great opportunity for everyone to practice opening their intuition. If you like, you might want to scribble and take notes, draw about whatever shows up, and that you one moment. Usually messages are fleeting. And so if you're letting flow through you, whatever's showing up, you might notice that what comes through you is related in some way to what we share. It's confirmation that we're all tapping into the same kinds of things. Of course, you might have something that comes through you that's valid and relevant that we don't share. It's a great opportunity to listen and learn from all that's asked and all that's answered, whether or not we answer a question from you. And also, this is a public format. We are recording. We're going to be posting on our YouTube channel. So as in any session, and particularly because this is online, when you ask a question, if we go deeper than you want us to go, or we talk about topics you don't want us sharing when we answer, please give us feedback. Interrupt us. We want to honor you in our response. So you can give us feedback, requests in the moment when you're first asking to stay in a particular topic. And if we go off course in any way, then where you want us to be, please interrupt us and let us know. We want to honor you. All right, great. Great, thank you so much. And several of you have donated for the interpreters. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, great. Well, let's see. So I'm going to move one of our interpreters off, and then Jen, you're up first. I'm going to bring you up on Spotlight.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm just so excited to happen upon this group and this forum. I actually have a burning question about my cat, Valentina. She's a hairless cat. She's about 6 years old. And I do have a picture ready to share on screen if you guys want to see her.
And some people do. So yeah, it's great to give us warning so that anyone that doesn't want to look can look away. Go ahead.
Okay. And just a quick little background. I've had her forever. I just spayed her last year so she could be a forever cat in my house, not a working cat. And I kept her little boy, which is the first boy cat I've ever fallen in love with. I'm pretty sure they're both my familiars, which I don't know how unusual that is to have two right after another related to each other, but I love them both amazingly. So I'm going to show you Valentina and Cow. And my question is, why is she peeing everywhere? I don't know if she's been peeing for 6 years and I never noticed, or if she just started peeing, but I have done everything for 4 months to get her to stop spraying and marking. And I don't know if she wants to live somewhere else or if I'm not doing something I need to do to make her happy.
Okay, great, great.
And you guys have
great
to click the
question.
button to let me share if you want to.
Oh, okay. You want to share your screen? I wasn't sure. Okay, great.
Pretty
You are
please.
now, whoops, hold on. I clicked the wrong button. Adding Spotlight. You are making you a co-host.
Oh,
So
thank
you
you.
can share your screen. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll show you the little guy first. This is Cow. They're hairless cats, and he's 8 months old, and that's Valentina's little boy. And I don't have a good picture of his eyes at this moment.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'll show you Valentina. She's the one I want to focus on. This is Cow's mommy, Valentina. And this is an older picture of her, but you can see her amazing eyes, and she's my 6-year-old mama queen that I adore.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. All right. Yeah, did everyone get a good look? Okay, go ahead and stop share.
Okay, thanks.
And maybe this is kind of a weird request. When we share screen like that, we can't see the interpreters. So Ray, if there's anything that, trying to think, can you make any quick summary of what Jen said about maybe it's pretty obvious from before. So the son and the mom.
I did have her tested for a UTI and it was positive, and I did 2 weeks of antibiotics, but that didn't stop the peeing.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're just trying to make sure that we catch up. Thorne and anyone else that's watching the video. Yeah, Ray, let me know when you're all done. Okay, great. Okay. All right, so practitioners, raise your hand in Zoom when you are ready to answer. And maybe I just from her face and her expression and the way I do body psychology, so reading emotionally, in that photo, I do get the feeling that something's wrong, something's bothering her. I don't know what it is. But it's like she's trying to tell you that something's not right. So I don't know if it's the space or how she feels. I didn't feel it in her body. I felt it more pushing from her face. So it feels more like it's maybe I have to say something else around for you to pay attention to. So I don't know what it is. And so everybody's just checking in.
She is a very,
Oh,
she does have separation anxiety, pretty bad.
yeah, DoveLight's ready. Go ahead, DoveLight. And I'll time you all, and then I'll use this if you go past like 2.5 minutes to let you know to finish up soon.
Yeah, thank you. I was just, I know, just waiting for everyone. So, first of all, it's very important to understand that the word family, to me, it's a new word also. The description that I did before, that was the closest thing we have to familiar. But just like twin flame, and soulmates and all that, remember that the love that you feel for your cat or for animal is real. Wherever there we put the title of familiar or no, what's important is the bond, the relationship. So don't think, oh, maybe he was not my familiar. If you genuinely love that little soul inside that consciousness, it is in your heart. It is your familiar, is your brother, is your sister, is your family, is your daughter, is your son. So let's just take that on the side. The first one I was picking up that he was chosen. The cat was chosen to heal your heart in some sort of level. It brings the best sensitivity in you. He has a divine light that is within you. I feel like if you have the ability to sleep with the cat with intention, you will be able to dream together, like lucid dreaming with it. She already understands your soul a lot. Now, I think the cat is actually picking with intention. Like I'm generally picking up it will be a good suggestion to take him to the vet. I cannot tell you exactly what is that he has, but I'm definitely picking up that this is something physical more than behavioral. Do you understand? So there might be something else that they haven't picked up the vet yet. I'm not sure if cats can take probiotics or not. I will have to talk to the vet about it.
Yes,
but he needs to start being a good one and a health one. So, but I definitely see that something is going on with his physical body that needs to still be addressed, because it's might bring discomfort. And I feel like if you speak to the cat and speak to the angels with faith, they're gonna guide you to what is that needs to be done. Okay. That's what I'm picking up. I hope there's somebody else of my college here, they pick up something that will be great, but that's the only thing that I'm picking up. On a spiritual level, remember that love is eternal. I love my dog, but I know my dog is not gonna live forever, with me like 30 years and all that. But remember that in the future, and that only goes for you, that goes for all of us, that when the time comes that they have to transcend the pain and the sorrow that we feel, it's part of that love, and it's normal, and we have the right to process. But right now, I'm just saying, cautious with his health, that it really needs to go through more tests or more something that's going on there that needs to be addressed. It hasn't come out yet to the light. Thank you.
Thanks, DoveLight. All right, who else is ready to answer?
Laureli, the interpreters are going to go ahead and switch.
Okay, let me take me off screen and okay, great. And then we've got Hannah ready.
Okay, so a couple of things, and you don't have to answer these questions because they're going to be about you. But just something to think about. If you want to answer, great, but otherwise respect your privacy. So when I was picking up on her, I was asking her what she's trying to share with you. And especially since you've already said that you've taken her to the vet, you've already gone the route having the UTI check. When you first started noticing the peeing, I want you to ask yourself, what area of your life you felt the most frustrated about? Where are you still feeling that irritation in your life? Where do you have unresolved conflict? And start looking at resolving that for yourself. And one thing you can do too is if you take your fingers and stroke down like over there, like you're governing. So this is like your governing meridian, kind of going from here up over the top of your head, down over your back. You can do that on, anybody can do that on your furry. I keep saying furry. Obviously, I'm biased. I have furs. Any of the animals. And you can just let her know, like, ask her if she's willing to release that. Like, so if you want to do it on her, like, say that it's okay. Give her permission to release what she's holding on to for you. And let her know, like, ask her, if, is that the message that you have for me? Are you holding on to this because you're trying to help me? If so, thank you for the message, and let's release it from you. So let her know that you got the message and then release it. And so that can be happen for any of them. You can, that's also a good way to help like install positive emotions too, is you can just give them like little positive affirmations, let them know good they are. Sometimes I let my cats know how the word mischievous comes to mind, because sometimes they just want to know that I notice that they're up to no good and that they're doing cat things. So just like, don't second guess like what comes to mind, because that might be what they want to hear. And the other thing too is like creativity. Are you trying to bring something in the world that's been being stifled? So really focusing on that area of your body, like looking at your own bladder, looking at those like the reproductive organs, and where do you feel like you're being blocked from fully eliminating or finishing projects in your life? Sorry. So I would say take a look at those things. You're doing great by taking her to the vet, and you should start to see some improvement with her.
Great, thank you. Next, we've got Tammy, and then Susy, and then Anissa. Yeah, go ahead, Tammy.
All right, so the first thing I got was low energy. And it feels like that might be related to yourself also, like Hannah was saying. And I agree with the sweep that she was saying. There's also what's called a stomach sweep. If you start, like she was saying, at the nose and you go across the head, but you go all the way down to the very tip of the tail for the cat. So just all the way, and for dogs too, but all the way down to the very tip of the tail. So that can help other issues too. It helps to kind of balance them and bring them into balance. Works on their stomach issues. I did get a possible nutritional issue, like a possible food sensitivity that might be affecting it. It might be related to this, or it might not. It might just be additional information for you. An essential fatty acids. So check into those two things. Some kind of food sensitivity. Have you changed your food lately, recently at all? It's always been the same.
Yeah.
I feel kind of a maybe a bored feeling there. So I don't know, just to check into that. Also, peeing has to do with like pissed off. So she's he kind of could be pissed off at this situation, and that situation to me feels like some of what the other practitioners were saying, something like that unfinished business, that something that how do I put this, that you're wanting to do or supposed to do or driving to do, but you're not quite putting enough energy. That maybe that's where that low energy is coming in, not putting quite as much energy toward this situation as you could. And she's just wanting you to really focus and be like laser focused on one thing at a time. Maybe there's like, you got like 10 or 20 things going on, and you're just kind of doing, a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit all over the place, and to be just more laser focused and take one thing at a time, just literally one thing, just focus on that one thing at a time. For some, she's just having me say that over and over again. So focus at one thing at a time and be very diligent on that one thing. So to go for that one thing and be diligent, maybe even increase your energy level. So to help her increase her energy level too. I don't know if you have a pendulum or if you work with pendulums at all, but you could also write over on her body, either on each chakra or just over her body. And this is her energy too. So I'm helping move her energy here. So you could do that also to help move her energy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Susie, and then Anissa.
Okay, so Tammy said so many of the things that I wanted to say, like the whole pissed off thing. And I thought, oh no, that's obvious. But there is something she's upset about. I also feel like the clearing, and I think using a pendulum is an excellent way to do that. You work with pendulums, so there's 30 seconds of my talk. The other thing that I am getting is that it's not just the bladder, it's going up into the kidneys, and the kidneys hold fear. Something shifted after the spay. You said she got spayed last year. Okay. 4 or 5 years ago?
About 4 or 5 months ago.
Months. Okay, good. Then that makes more sense to me. So there is some fear that's stuck in her kidneys. So you can use the pendulum to help clear it. You can also use a visualization of counterclockwise, whatever energy you have counterclockwise, rubbing your hands and touching her with them. Because that activates the energy portals there, and you can just, with the intention of clearing out her body of the fear, because my cat did that to me too when I had cancer. He developed all kinds of tumors, which totally sucked, but she is drawing something from you. So do first for you, envision yourself in a counterclockwise vortex of energy and have it dump into Mother Earth, calling in source in a clockwise direction to help fill in, because when you clear out, you got to fill in.
I did have a kidney stone 2 months ago myself.
Okay. Yay. Not okay, never mind. But I'm glad this is all making sense to you. So I keep the clearing going, and gratitude. Fill in with so much gratitude. Your darling queen is taking on so much of your stuff, and that soul contract there, you say, okay, let's rearrange that so it's not that much. But she is giving you, she is doing things in such a way that she's caught your attention. So now that you've done that, you can look and see what's pissing you off so that you can thank her. It's like, thank you for showing me, let's move it on. And I believe I hit all the points. I'm really grateful to the other practitioners who are hitting so many great things too. So thank you. Good luck, Jen.
Thanks so much, Susie. Anissa's next.
Well, I don't know if I should go because I would basically be repeating everything that, well, not everything, but a lot of what has already been said. So I'm not sure if it would be helpful or not.
I think go ahead. You get the information in a different way and you'll talk about it a different way. Go ahead.
So yeah, I get images in a different, and from those images, then I interpret them. Sometimes I get feelings, and the first feeling I got was just intense burning sensation deep in my core. So it made sense that you both described the urinary infections and the kidney infections. So that was the first sensation I got. Then the imagery I got was of a tree, and with the tree, it's all about the core. So as Susie was saying, I believe Tammy touched on a little bit too, was maybe there was something more going on with just the bladder, but more in the core as well. And then I wanted to find out just more about how Valentina is doing. And the first imagery that came up was a vacuum. So she's annoyed or in kind of constant fear. That's kind of the or not constant fear, but like a heightened level of fear, a heightened level of anxiety recently. And then the next imagery I got was of a rain cloud. So she's kind of in a moody feeling down, which of course makes sense because she's not feeling well. So those were the imagery that came to me when communicating with her.
Do you think that her issues with me keeping her little boy, she doesn't like playmates and I'm kind of forcing her to have a playmate? Or do you think it's just that I travel so much, she's upset that I'm gone so much? That irritation.
I lean
No.
more towards the irritation, separation anxiety, because one of the imagery that I got was of a door closing, a door slamming. And so, oh, don't feel bad. But yeah, it's hard not to. But that was also one of the imagery with the anxiety, the separation anxiety, which you mentioned before.
Thank you. That makes me think maybe I'll start finding her a foster cat home when I travel, so she has a playmate and a human playmate.
One thing you
Thank
can
you.
do too while you're traveling is check in with her and talk to her. Just, in your bed, just go into your heart and just talk to her like you would if you were there, but just because there is no time and space. So talk to her, tell her what's going on, tell her your day. And while you're there too, just talk to her more and him too, and help them to share your life when you're not there. So she has more of a feeling and a connection to you even when you're gone. Because even when you're gone, you're still together. You're still together.
Yeah, I think on a message that seems like it might be good for, and then we'll go to Hannah in a moment, that might be good for you and for her, is to say something of like, everything is okay. Everything really is okay. Despite whatever I think and imagine and worry about and blah, 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 everything really is okay. And feeling into that everything is okay. It feels like that might be good for you and good for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we've got
I say
Hannah.
one more thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead. And I know Hannah's got
Sure.
something at DoveLight. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Tammy,
I'm
Tammy, go
sorry, I
ahead.
forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
what I was going to say.
It'll
Go
come
ahead.
back if it's need to. Yeah. Okay, great. Hannah's next.
Okay, so it was actually, I think Tammy and I had the thought about the same time. So connect with her while you're gone. But I also want to just say you've gotten a lot of various information tonight. So I want you to just take a few breaths and just recognize that even in the awareness of bringing this energy up, it is shifting. Because I've seen your face and your hands, you've had a lot of aha moments. The energy is already shifting between the two of you. So it's changing. And what could help, you might feel goofy as all get out doing it, but you could get 2 little stuffed kitties to take with you when you travel. You could name one each kitty, because then what you can do, oh, look at my perfect little model. So with your stuffed kitty, you could then like stroke and connect their energy and just send that loving energy to them like you would when they were there. And that tangible representation of them might help you believe that you are. Because you're creating those neural pathways. So play pretend first if you don't feel like you're connecting. And then it's going to create, because they're going to feel that energy because they're searching for you. My husband travels a lot, and these guys check in on him in his dreams, so that they're searching for you. And like I said, just breathe through it. And you don't have to act on every piece of advice. Take what resonates that you got today, sleep on it, and just know, like say a quick prayer to your spirit guides before you go to bed, and just ask that this starts to resolve in your sleep. And it will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. And I know, yeah, so Tammy, go ahead, and DoveLight had something else quick to share. Go ahead, Tammy.
One thing I just wanted to say is sometimes
Sorry,
we can
the interpreters are going to switch.
Sorry, hold on one moment. I gotta take me off. Okay, go ahead.
So sometimes we can feel guilty, for taking on, for them taking on our stuff, not to let that guilt go, just let it just flow out of you. If you feel it, if you start feeling it, it's like, just to let it go. Do not take on that guilt of they're here. They've chosen to be here. They've chosen to be with you. Our animals have chosen to be with us. I believe all our animals have chosen to be with us. And like Hannah said, follow your own guidance for sure. Follow your own guidance. Thank you.
And DoveLight, I think you haven't shared yet, right?
No, well, I think we're all seeing synchronicity. We were picking up the same things. At the beginning, when I was reading, I was a part of my voice that keeps stopping because I felt overwhelmed by fear. but I didn't want to say it because I felt like maybe it's too much information like we're talking about. But I will highly, I'm gonna put in the chat a link for a YouTube meditation of overcoming fear, because I don't want nobody to have the wrong misconception that you are killing your cat or your dog, or it's about me, because it's not. They have their own consciousness, they're learning. Sometimes their soul contract is done, like they live what they needed to live with you in time to go home. So you have no control over a soul's journey or a consciousness journey. I just wanted to clear that out so we don't get into this trap of guilt, like she said, or fear. The second thing that I used to do when I have to be away from my dog, I send him an image of the moon, because my dog understands the moon shifting, moving to that side. So either one moon, so he understands the days concept or time concept by the moon moving, and with the feeling that I'm going to go away. So you can use, it's very easy. They really understand an image and a feeling. So it's very simple. So I just wanted to honor that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Very much.
I just wanted to check in. Did Thorne have anything before we? Just want to make sure we give Thorne a chance if Thorne's ready. And then Ray, did you want to make Thorne larger, or should I pull people off? I'm open to doing whichever.
No, I'm just going to zoom in like I have been. No worries. So just a short little thing to add, really the same as everyone else, like everyone's comments, but it's really important to pay attention and really look at the cat, what they're doing, what are they doing often, and to show that we really can feel it inside. So compare it to like, oh, I'm taking it in, I'm looking, compare it to yourself. How are you feeling? And navigate it kind of like that. And also a second thing, and I will add it into the chat too, but a best witch, it's like a cat mother's video, and it's a really good one for everybody to connect with, and that energy to really help pull them together. Kind of figure out what's up, what's going on with the animals, and maybe if you're feeling stuck, maybe if you have some ideas that you kind of need to go through, check on the energies. Are they warm? Is it joyous? Things like that. And also when the cat passes and you have to send them on to take care of them, for you to be ready to send the spirit on to take care of itself as well. So I will add that to the chat. I just think it's really important for you to remember, just like everyone said, put that guilt away. It's not needed. It's really important that cycle, that stuck cycle of guilt, you do not need it. It doesn't do any good here. So just recognize that and understand that our feelings and our emotions are connected to our animals because they do have their own consciences. So everybody's going to interpret that differently. So please take that as you will, but it's just really important to focus on both of those things. And I think that everyone's comments were beautiful. I wish you nothing but luck and positivity. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Thorne. Thank you so much, practitioners. And thank you so much, Jen, for supporting us and supporting the interpreters. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question is from Mary. Mary, did you want to come up on the light? Here we go. I just need your video.
Come on. I'm not sure why my camera isn't coming on. It's a little bit odd.
I'm asking you to start it.
There it goes. Enable camera access. Okay, I guess I'm sorry, I'm a little bit delayed on this one. So
okay.
What I'm asking about is I've never owned cats. And so now I have 5 in the last 2 years, and they've all kind of come in on their own. And so specifically one, her name is Birdie, and I'm really sorry. Maybe if you want to skip ahead to the next person while I figure this out, I don't want to delay the group.
Okay, sure. That's okay. And then, so if I just say in terms of your camera probably has to have permission, or Zoom has to have permission to connect with your camera. Sometimes, yeah. So just go into your settings and play with your settings. Sometimes you have to reboot. your device. So if so, I'll just look for you and bring you back in.
Okay, thank you. I'm really sorry.
Thanks, Mary. That's okay. All right. So then, Sue, are you ready? Oh,
I
perfect.
think so. Can you see the room?
Let me bring you up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can see your room.
All right. So I'm going to introduce you to Karma. She's having a little snack. Hey, sweetie, there's nothing wrong with Karma. I just was going to see, if you guys, she's going to be really standoffish because she's eating. But if you get anything from her, and what does she want me to know? And I told her that I was going to ask a question and that she could talk with you guys. So yeah, whatever you want to come up with, Karma is just like her name. She's either really good or she's really bad. And I love her to death. So yeah, anyways, that's about it.
So maybe she's got a nice strong body and a nice strong energy and attitude, and when she wants something, she wants it. So she can do what you consider getting in trouble when she wants to. Is that? Oh, perfect.
Do you want a treat? Huh? Yeah. She's gonna look at your eyes. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. You want a treat?
Does she talk a lot?
No, she's not really very vocal unless I've been gone a while, or she's very vocal with birds. She likes to chatter, things like that. You want to sit up? Sit up. Oh, okay. There we go. But she's very silent. She talks to me with her eyes. She'll stare at me for very long times. Usually it's because she wants to play. Her little play toy is behind her on the floor. Yeah. And I just, am I missing anything? What does she really want to get across to me, or any messages from her?
All right, great. Thank you so much. And thanks for some great views of her. So practitioners, whenever you're ready. Oh, all right. Tammy's ready. Go ahead, Tammy.
All right. Well, the first thing I got that she would like a water fountain, flowing water. But that's a preference. She's like, I'm satisfied. I feel satisfied with life. I feel like she's satisfied. She thinks you're good at listening to her. You're fairly good at listening to her. You could pay a little more attention to like the visuals that she sends you. So if something pops into your head, give a little more attention to that. Like you were saying, the playing and stuff, she'll send you more visuals of what she wants. But as far as her life and like you're playing and all the needs and wants are pretty much satisfied, except for maybe that flowing water or turning your water fountain on or water faucet even on, just a little bit of the flowing water would be a preference for her. But she feels like she has a pretty satisfied and thinks she has a great life.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy. We've got DoveLight next.
First of all, she's so cute. I got so distracted because she was so cute. My heart opened the field like that. This cat has heart energy. The cat knows that it's very well loved. The cat knows that you love this cat. Like your field of connection comes from the heart. That's why she trusts it and she knows that you are also a high spiritual person. Because when she's talking to you through the eyes, like you have this natural born telepathy because you are connected to your heart and to her heart. So I feel a lot of both of you are learning unconditional love, but you're actually living through it. It makes you happy. I keep seeing signs from heaven. I think that by you being in tune with this way of communication with the cat, your own intuition to many situations or places is also growing, because you can feel, you're trusting your feeling. The cat is telling me how much she appreciates you, and she loves that you really, I don't even feel like he thinks it's a cat. He really thinks it's a family member. It's a daughter. It's like an equal ground, really. I'm also picking up you both have been working hard toward real valuable, something that has real valuable. I don't know if it's economic, but it's something about understanding the value of things take time and effort to do so, but you have that value. There is something about learning your own value, the what is valuable in life related to the connection with the cat. There's also picking up that is an illusion, something about leaving something behind, or a situation or a person, something that involves some sort of death or ending of cycle, but it's an illusion. It's going away, it's moving away. And the cat understood the situation, and the cat understood how to guide you or help you through that process, because she sees you as the sun. And even though it's important to grieve and to release and let go of the past, it came to remind you that you can shine. You can be that happiness, regardless of, we all have to pass through sad experiences, but you still can shine, It's not about denying your emotion. It's just that you have to move forward. You have to continue living on. And that's what the cat is showing you by being itself. It's like a baby, like some sort of happiness it brings you. So just remember that. Okay, that's what I'm picking up for now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you, DoveLight. We've got Susy, and then Thorne, and then Hannah, and then Anissa, and we'll come back to Tammy. All right, so Susy's next.
Hey, Sue. Yep. Hey, Sue. So at first I got that Karma was saying, lighten up, don't worry so much about how I'm doing. She's okay. Because, you're sitting there talking about everything you do for her. And she's like, yeah, I don't know what she's worried about. So then when you talk to her, believe what you get. I used to say trust and trust and trust, but believe what you get, because she will talk to you at a more not karmic level. I think it's interesting you call her karma, but that's another thing. But at the etheric level, she does talk to you, and you guys go playing around in dream time, which is all fabulous. Now, shifting over to karmically speaking, you two have spent several lifetimes together. She didn't like being a dog. She's like, no, that was like a Roman time. She was a dog, and you like throw meat out. And she's like, no. So she likes this constant attention that you give her. And that has related to, she said, not just Egypt, and she's flicking her hair around. But there have been other times where she has actually been your familiar, where you worked in tandem. That's the great thing about past lives. There's such a fullness of experience there. So whatever you can come up with, whatever story you can think of, you two have probably done it, because you two are very connected. But as far as the current life, she's like, everything's great. Don't worry. Keep the pets coming. Keep all of the loving on coming. The treats, maybe not so much, but that's not her talking per se. She's like, bring on all the treats. I got them. But you're taking care of her, and you are keeping her to the fore. You're keeping her highest and best interest at heart. She's golden. You're golden.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Trying to figure out my camera here.
Okay, great. And we're going to have Thorne on next. That's when it's still in the middle of Susy's question with part of this.
There we go.
Okay, great. Thorne.
All right, just a little tidbit. When I was watching, I get the feeling that that connection is absolutely beautiful. Just wow, really, everything is fantastic. It's very obvious. My only kind of feeling of, I don't know, maybe something that could be added is a little bit of music and a little bit of dance, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Something that you two can do together.
Oh, yeah.
And I mentioned that because in Egypt, the goddess Hester, Hester is a goddess of music and moving together in space. And so maybe you can read up a little bit on that and think about how you might want to include that in your relationship with your cat. But that's my one tip, really. But honestly, everything else seems pretty divine. And, you know, you two will be together forever. You're good to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you,
My
Thorne.
pleasure.
All right, next we've got Hannah and then Anissa.
Okay, so I'm going to start this by saying, Sue, that if I touch on something and you just want me to stop talking, just hold up your hand or say, like, because I'm getting messages that she wants me to tell you about you. So if it gets to be a little bit too private, just let me know.
Okay.
Because I feel like as I start talking, she might get sassier, is why I'm giving that disclaimer.
Oh, I think she went in the back room, so go for it.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, it's Anna's turn to say this now. So some of the other practitioners have already touched on this, but you need to grieve your grief. And like, there's just this deep loneliness around you that she really wants you to address. And her big question for you is, you're so worried about her well-being. Was anybody worried about yours? So can you give yourself the same love that you give karma? So can you invite your inner children to come play and hold the wand, the toy? Can you start connecting with yourself and showering yourself with that same love, care, affection, and acceptance?
Yeah.
That you give karma. That's
Yeah.
what she wants. She's got a good life. She's been with you, so she wants you to just, and she wants you to know that it's okay to feel those things. And that she will be there to help wipe some tears. Like, you don't have to hide anything from her. She already knows. She knows better than you what's happening, what needs to come out right now.
Yeah.
So I'll let the next person go now.
Okay, great. And then we've got Anissa next.
Well, I got quite a few images. The first one was kind of fun for me. It was a sweet 16 party. So human 16-year-old, not cat 16-year-old, but that you create a party for her like every day. She's a sassy teenager and that you celebrate her every day. The next image was as a sugar glider that she can be very playful and glide through the air when she wants to. The next image was of a sofa couch. So she's a lounger and she enjoys the comforts that you've provided for her. She's very content with the environment that you graciously allow her to have. The next imagery I got was kind of a ship like a Titanic, and that goes with her personality. When she has an idea, she's full steam ahead. Like, she can be stubborn. When she has a want, it's now. When there's a need, it's a need. It's now. Full steam ahead. The next imagery I got was of a suction cup. So you two are quite bonded. You are quite connected to each other, which everyone has touched on, and it was so easy to see. And then I asked, was there anything that she wanted to tell you? And what came up was a journal or a lined paper. And I encourage you to maybe journal or be creative in some way. That it might be a good creative process or a healing process for you as well to start journaling.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks for showing karma.
Is that everybody? Because I want to give some validation.
Let's see. So I
One
know
more thing.
Tammy might have had a little bit more. Did you want to share it a little bit, Tammy? And then
Just a little bit. I heard be aware of your life path and then on the lookout for what your soul wants. So, and then the journaling, that came up to the journaling. Journal, what does my soul want me to know today? And maybe even do that every morning. So she just wants you to connect more with your own soul and what your path is and what your next step is, or just journal that too. What is my step right now? What is this step right now the next step that I take? So what does my
That's
soul want me to know? And what's my next step?
great. Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to do as well. And some validation on who she is as a person cat. She is very demanding. She will literally grab my arm if I'm doing work, and she's always reminding me that she would like to play now, or that it's time to stop working for whatever reason, dinner time, or what have you. We do dance together, actually, so that was spot on. We haven't done it in a long time, and it's nice to know that she likes that and wants some more of that. And she was my partner during COVID when I had broken up with someone, and they're back in my life now. And she's also very bonded to them as well. But there was a grieving time that she was with me and helped to see me through when I was very alone. So that was just right on, and just wanted to let you guys know that you're really picking up on her. And it's just so good to know also that I'm her son, because she's mine. She's my shiny, just joy. And I tell her all the time that I love her, and I know she understands that. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you so much. You all hear me? Just sorry, switching
Yeah.
my microphones. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate just the lively, full, joyous energy of both of you. Really beautiful. Okay. All right, and let's see. Just one thing I noticed. So Stephanie, you've got your hand up. I don't know if you paid to ask a question. If you did, please let me know in the chat. If you have a question about how things work, it's better if you could write it in the chat. If you want to get in line to ask a question, I put information in the chat about how to pay to ask a question. I think maybe I didn't put that in. I'll put that in right now. There you go. So yeah, we'd love to get you in line if you want to do that. Let's see, we've got Mary coming back up. Hopefully you've been able to get your camera working.
Yes, it looks like I did. Oh, I'm just too fast on the buttons. Hi, so
Great.
this is
Oh,
Birdie. Let me see if you can see her.
hi, and I just got joined by someone.
I can't tell on my screen if y'all can see Birdie.
Yeah, we can a little bit. We can see Birdie's back.
Birdie. There she is.
Yeah, here we go.
That's better. Birdie. So Birdie is my first cat ever that I've owned. And we got her 2 years ago. We found her 2 years ago. And recently, I now have 4 more cats in the last 6 months. And, it's all brand new to me. So it's a mix of 3 outdoor cats and another cat, Charlie, that was a stray that I'm trying to get him to be an indoor cat. But the 2 of them just are not getting along after about 6 months. So I kind of need help along that, and maybe a little bit of harmony with the outside cats too. And I can show pictures of those, the outside ones, and I can show you all Charlie in a little bit.
Okay, you said Birdie is the first one. You have 4 others now, and then
Yes.
Birdie and 1 other are not getting along as well?
Indoor, yeah. So Charlie is an orange tabby that was a stray that just showed up at home, started coming around, and just, I guess, adopted me as well. And so they're the 2 that I'd really like to get being friendly, getting along, so that I can open up all the rooms in the house and they can play, because I can tell Charlie wants to play with her, but she's very standoffish.
Yeah. And she's Birdie just feels like an empath, really sensitive, picks up a lot of different things. Is that true? Like Birdie just generally very sensitive and very just anything going on in the environment?
Yeah, I noticed, I think someone else was mentioning that their cat would go on their chest. So I have health issues, and depending on what's going on with me, she won't leave my side, or she'll sleep on me even more. So I can tell that she picks up a lot from me. And I actually think she's a reincarnated dog that I had before, but that's just me.
Yeah, and how long did you have her before the other animals came in also?
The dog? The dog passed away, I want to say like 8 or 9 years ago. And I hadn't had a pet since. And we weren't going to get any pets. Birdie just, we found her in a bush, and she weighed less than a pound when we found her. The funny thing is I actually dreamt of her a week before we found her, and it was my grandmother gifting her to me. And I remember in the dream I laughed because I said, I've never owned a cat and I've never seen a cat with these kinds of stripes. So she tends to show up too. I have been trying to tune into my healing and intuition, and when I've done courses, she just can't avoid being around me and in front of the camera.
Yeah, and I'll turn it over to Susie in just a moment. It feels like the relationship with you is a super special relationship, and so it just feels a little distracted with all the other cats in the space. And I just wonder too, with the health issues you have, do you take enough care of yourself? Are you distracting yourself with so many different things too?
Part of the health issues, I think, is the universe telling me that it's time I start taking care of myself and putting myself first. So I do realize that there's a lot going on for me, and it's been good for me to be home.
Yeah, that's good. I wondered something about that, just more like a little bit more of like solitary focus on you and focus on the connection with her and allowing her to really support you. And I wonder about those kinds of things, but
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so Susie and then Hannah, and then Stephanie, I'll get you in line after Mary.
Hey, Mary. Laureli touched on it when she asked if your cat was an empath. And I feel that the cat is. One thing to do with empaths is to clear. You understand what an empath is? Okay, because she's taking on all kinds of stuff, particularly from the other cats too. So, like I told somebody else earlier, it's like she needs to be cleared, whether you use a pendulum or visualization, to clear out anything that's not hers and allow it to go into Mother Earth. That helps to clear the space so that you're not leaving like sploops of other energy in the house for somebody else to walk through. You want it to go into Mother Earth and then to fill in with source energy so that Birdie can have her own energy there. And if you want to throw some protection around her, just like this little bubble of source or God, or, this hamster ball, for the energetic hamster ball for her to roll around in, that's great. She does have a soul contract with you to help you clear out stuff, but you do need to make sure you are focusing on yourself here so that you can get better. So she's taking on less. Charlie, he didn't get it right now. He's new and he's hanging out and he wants to be a friend, but she is so focused on you. Birdie is so focused on you. She doesn't have that bandwidth, to go and play a bit. So continue to clear her out, and you can set it. It's kind of like a crock pot method, just set it, forget it. She's clear, she's full, she's protected. You can check on it every other day, but she's going to continue to help you because that's her contract with you. She's going to continue to help you heal, filling in with a gratitude though, so that she knows she's doing all right. And then you are showing her that you are doing the things you need to be better. Okay. You can tell her all you want, but you get to show her. And the other cats, I feel like they do kind of on occasion pick up stuff that they don't need to be bringing home. So the whole clearing methodology, I think, would work for particularly the outdoor cats too, because they're, kind of like, it might be a burr in the fur, but there could be little gremlins they carry along with them. But, just clear everybody and, fill it in with love, source, and protect particularly Birdie. And I think lots of progress will be made.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Susie. Next, we've got Hannah.
The interpreters are going to switch.
Oh, one moment. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So when I tap into what's going on, your energy feels very scattered, and it's around. Thanks for the confirmation, Kitty. And so it's just scattered and anxious, not only about your health, but a lot of things that are going on in your life. And so she's trying to pick up on that and help you out. And so regardless of like something that you could do today is if you can allow yourself to start having some clarity or intentionality about what's happening in your life. If you can write it down, get the thoughts out of your head so that they're not playing ping pong inside your head, bouncing off of each other and just making things, worse and making things split to be bigger than they are. So just do a brain dump, allow all of that stuff to get out on the paper, and then ask yourself, wait, why am I, do I still need to hold on to this? Because some of the stuff that's going to come out was actually resolved weeks or years ago even. But once you start writing, you might realize that you're still holding on to a lot of energy that's no longer part of your current life. And that will really help you create a flow around what's going on.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Because right now, if he's trying to help you, what I see is it's just kind of like like a laser light show. They're just going everywhere. They're crisscrossing. Right? There's just so much that he's trying to block and help and clear. But a lot of that's not even yours to carry anymore. So if you can at least get clarity on what is actually in your life right now, that's going to help tremendously.
Thank
It'll
you.
be less stress on everyone, right? Including yourself. And then as far as the kitties getting along better, I was actually even just reading in this book. Anyway, like Ask and It Is Given, the Abraham Hicks book. You can't tell with my background because there it is. Anyway, I had opened up to the page earlier where it had just said, you can change your frequency in 68 seconds. Just allow yourself to hold a new thought for 17 seconds to change the emotion behind it. And then you can change it within 68 seconds or be at that vibrational match. I might be butchering that, but it's in the book. So imagine that the cats are playing together and allow yourself to feel what you would feel if they're playing peacefully and happily. Allow your body to bring up the emotions of joy and happiness and love. And notice how your body would respond, like how amazing that they're all playing and having fun. And then just as you breathe out, project that energy out to them. And see how long you can hold it. But if you can hold it for at least 70 seconds, you're changing that frequency in your body. And then if you can hold it even longer each time, that's a very positive thing that you can do. All right, the next person.
Thanks so much, Hannah. We've got DoveLight next. Or wait, to Anissa. 1 second. Did someone take their hand down or we're no? Okay, it must have been DoveLight next. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was next. Okay. I'm picking up the first thing when you're talking. I didn't know if you were specifically asking for the first cat or for the cats in general, but I was picking up with the conflict with this cat. It's more like territorial. It's where he's coming from. Like he's not used to live with other cats this way, and now that he finds a safe space and he knows this cat is really bond with you, the cat might think that his survival depends on how much he bonds with this human to stay where he is, because you are very nurturing, you're giving them a home, you're giving them food, all that. On the more instinct basis, that's what I'm picking up. In the spiritual sense, I'm picking up that this cat is a gift from heaven. It's definitely to help you be aware of your own spiritual gift that you possess. There is something related about romance. Healing, this cat is teaching you how to bring romance into your life, to how to love yourself and how to believe that you are worthy of having a healthy romance. It's about going within. I feel like it's something I keep picking up this healing that is you have so many gifts, so many blessings within your life. You have so much of that energy inside of you, but for some reason there is something related to the topic of romance from the past, that this cat is coming to your life to help you move forward, to help you heal from that, and to help you to understand how beautiful being you are. And what else I'm picking up from this cat is I'm taking like patience, visions about the future, good feeling. I feel like with this cat, it's all about trusting yourself and trusting the process. It's about bringing that freedom to be who you want to be, to have faith in yourself, to have faith that you deserve that, you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to have romance, that you are worthy of in love, but in a healthy, in a good way. So that expansions. I feel like you have such an abundance of gifts and skills in so many levels that you will if you choose to go within, to acknowledge that within, you will be able to see it the same way that your cats see that potential, that beauty in you. That's what I'm picking up from this energy at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, DoveLight. All right, we've got Tammy next.
Mary. Yeah. What the first thing that came up was the feeling of lonesome, and it's not the cats. It feels like it might be your energy, that they're concerned about that feeling of lonesomeness in you, and other feelings, respect issues, boundaries. So to voice your feelings regarding all your feelings, just voice them or write them out, or to get them out so they can release that hold on you. It's like these feelings have a tight grip on you, and to be able to release those feelings so you can move forward, and maybe work on your boundaries, decide what's non-negotiable, even with the cats. This is to stand in your power and say, this is okay and this is not okay. Just specifics, like 1 or 2 things that are just completely, non-negotiable. This is a yes and this is a no. You cannot do this. So it feels like there's some wishy-washiness, for, I can't think of the better word here, but in what you're allowing them to do, if that makes any sense. And just another, I agree with what everyone else was saying. The one other thing to clear the energy, like Susy was saying, just another option for you. You can even just say clear Birdie and clear Charlie and clear me, and clear the energy between all of us, between them and between all of us, and fill the house with harmony. So just a little bit different than what Susy was saying, just another option to look into there, see if you like that. Medicine Buddha came up for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but he's for mind and body healing. So so that is coming up if you want to check that out, Medicine Buddha for mind body healing.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Tammy. All right, and Anissa.
Thank you. I wish I was a cat behaviorist so I could give more practical advice. I'll just give you the imagery that I got intuitively. The first one was a pig's nose. So Birdie can be a snob at times. There can be some attitude. And I mean, all cats have attitude, but she has a special kind of attitude sometimes. The next imagery was a big M. So she thinks of you as mine and mine alone. And so I'm getting a lot of possession over you. The next imagery I got was stained glass. So for me, that ties into religion and needing to be calm and still. And she's observant of things. She's observant of surroundings. She's observant of you religiously. So there's kind of that anxious pent up energy that needs to be released. So I don't know if she needs to play more or would like to play more, but there's kind of this tenseness with the surroundings, which obviously makes sense with what you were describing the situation to be. The next imagery was the Swiss flag, so that there's the neutrality that needs to be found in the home. And again, this is where I wish I had a practical way to be like, we'll have this cat in this room and this cat in this room, and then have them meet, smells and, steps for getting them to like one another, but I don't know the exact steps of how to do that. So if there's a way to look into that with a cat behaviorist, that might be helpful. The last imagery I got was of a mechanical wind-up toy. It was actually an alligator. I don't know why it was an alligator, but it was one that you wind up and then the teeth chatter. So I'm getting that there's tenseness in the jaw, so tenseness with communicating. And I'm not sure if that's with the cats communicating or if it's with you in communication. But those were the imagery that came from me.
Thank you. Is it okay for me to give you all some validation back?
Yeah, and then Thorne might have something
Oh.
too, so let's just check. It's okay.
Oh, I'm
great.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Thorne. I'm sorry. I should have asked when we was ready. Thank you.
If Thorne does, it's okay. No, thank you. Thorne set? Okay, great. Go ahead and give your validation, Mary.
Yes, Birdie can be a brat. It's like they start sniffing and she wants to play and she'll sit by the doors. I've been doing what they call the Galaxy, I can't remember his name now, Jackson Galaxy method. And I'm to the point that they can sniff each other and then sometimes they see each other through glass doors and through like kitty gates. And then all of a sudden she'll just up and decide she's going to hiss and she doesn't want anything to do with him. And the same with the other cats, like, and she'll run between doors through the glass trying to play like through the glass and then suddenly hiss. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Birdie, why are you so difficult? But it does make sense. I mean, she was almost like an only child. And it was just me and her for most of the time. I'm the primary cat caretaker. And so I am trying to do the method, and I've been telling my friends, they tease me, they call me the cat lady now, and I don't care. They are absolutely, I've never had cats, and I'm like, wow, I am learning so much about being a person in this world, about boundaries and expressing yourself. And like, it's okay to say, hey, don't do that. And she'll just smack me, or they'll just hiss. And it's like, why is it taking me at 46 to learn from the cats how to communicate my needs and what I don't like and setting down boundaries? And so I'm just amazed. And so I really appreciate everything you've said. Everything resonates. Definitely, I feel like Birdie came into my life at the right time. And somehow I think, my friends joke that my energy is pulling all these other cats because I have so much to give and nowhere to give it. So thank you again to all the practitioners and to everyone here. I really appreciate what you've said, and I'm going to stick around so I can listen and learn from you all.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
very welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, great. And so we've got Stephanie next. Stephanie, turn on your video and I'll bring you up here. Okay, great. All right, what is your question? You wrote a little bit. Yeah, go ahead and share.
I'm gonna turn around my camera because I can't show you my kitty because he's not here anymore, but I wanted to show you a couple pictures of him. I got him when he was just a little kitten, and he passed away last year, so he was 12. But he was my whole world. Like, here's a cute little video of him, but like I swear he could speak English, like not speak English but understand me. Like, I could just tell him things, and like you could just tell that we were very, like, he could just understand what I was telling him. And I would take him to work with me. I work at an animal hospital, and he, unlike most cats where they would want to leave, but as soon as they got in there, like, he would stick by my side and hang out with me. And like, I could just tell him to stay in this area and he would stay, like where I was working.
Did we lose your volume? I know I can't hear you saying anything else, but maybe you're just showing us.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of what else to say. But basically I was just wondering, I don't know, like I always got the impression that it was possible that he was like with me at some other point in my life. Maybe like a previous cat that I had. And so I was just wondering, like, is it possible that he's like part of like my spirit family? And so that like maybe in the future he'll like want to rejoin, like as maybe another cat, or like somehow rejoin my life like while I'm still on this side, or maybe he'll just wait for me on the other side. I'm not sure.
All right, great questions. Great, yeah. Okay, yeah, we're switching interpreters. All right. See, wait till, okay, great. Hannah's ready. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to say with a disclaimer, I can't guarantee what will or won't happen because they all have everyone has their own free will, including our animal friends and our spirit team. But what I will tell you is that you're not alone. Your kitty is still kind of watching over you, and just checking in on you. Just making sure that you feel safe and loved, and you'll see him again. It might not be in this lifetime. It might be, but it's just keep your eyes open for signs. He's letting you know that he's there now. For some reason, I feel like we need to clarify it. He is a he, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because I was picking up on some feminine energy that just made me question it really quick. I'm like, so if he does come in, it might be as a female cat. So be open to any, like the soul.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, wait a second. Was I just not listening?
No, I was like I kind of get the impression that, so like a while, like a long time ago now, I had a female cat who was also a pointed cat that I felt like he had a very similar energy as her. And so I was always wondering, I was just always like on my mind.
Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah. Cause I was just like, wait a second. But yes. And so this, this kitty may come back into this lifetime with you, but the spirit is still there. So watch for little things to let you know that they're around. Whether it's just like a leaf or a scent or a noise that just reminds you. Or as you're drifting off to sleep, if you feel pressure on the bed, like as they nestle in like they might used to. So it's around. So I hope that helps.
Yeah.
And I'll let the next person go.
Great, thanks, Hannah. We've got DoveLight next and then Susy.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that video about your kitty. That we appreciate that. I'm picking up strongly. He's a spirit guide to you. It's in heaven, it's watching over you, and he loves you. It's walking beside you every day, because the time when they go to the other side, because they didn't have the challenges of living as a human, they go quickly as comparing human time, the review of their life and their consciousness. They don't want you to relinquish your power. If there is any way that you feel like you might suppress your voice, it doesn't want you to do that. One of his gifts with this cat was for you to speak up or to open up, to being able to express yourself freely. He's reminding you of that. The thing about this consciousness is they can send their energy to other different types of pets. And I see in this case before, they might, some of them times they come back. Other times what they do, they send some of its energy, the imprint, and they put it on the new pet that's meant to learn something with you. This happened also, for example, if you have a human soul that passed away and it wants to give you a message to a dove or through a sign, and then you pick up the feather or you see a cat and you remember your loved one who passed away, it's because they're imprinting their energy, that I'm giving you a message through the animal or through that feather. So something like that happens with the animals too. Sometimes they choose to reincarnate, or sometimes the new animal will have an imprint of their previous bond. So you can feel that connection, but you can grow into something new. I'm picking up strongly he's watching over you, how you're growing. He's telling independent woman, like he's very proud of you. She's going to become an independent woman. There is some projects that you share with this guy when he was alive. Actually, we will tell, he will be aware. Maybe you're talking about something you will in the future, but she wants you to have patience. Valuable things take time. Do not rush, because sometimes it's hard work or smart work. Sometimes it takes time. It's like a seed. In order for the seed to become a flower, to become a tree, to grow fruit, it needs time. And it's the sun, and it's the water, and it's the soil. So it wants you to have patience. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. Just have patience, and the good things will come. Definitely, I can see him as he really knows in his heart of hearts. It's like your best friends. You are like buddies. Like you reflect each other. And this is a bond who goes beyond that. You will definitely see the spirit. You can do meditation. They're telling me if you're open to open spiritually, you can meditate with him and call upon his energy, and you will be able to communicate with him, because heaven, it's a dimension away, a heart away, a thought away. You can generally communicate with your pet by being in that receptive listening mode. So so it's beautiful that you are coming here to ask questions for us, but remember that you have the power to communicate directly with this beautiful being. You will not need an intermediary, because I feel like you have that love that will help you to build that bond if you choose to do so. But he will always, regardless, will be a spirit guide to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you, DoveLight. We've got Susie next and then Tammy.
Hey, Stephanie. You said, you started a few sentences with, I believe this, or this is the impression that I got. Trust what you get. So this cat has reincarnated and will reincarnate again with you in some form. I found that when we were at the top of the pandemic, my husband was looking for a dog. And after he, figured out how not to say, well, it's the pandemic, what are you going to do? I said, wait a minute. I had to release the previous dog that we had. I kept calling him the greatest Doberman. We had a Doberman and he was great, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, okay. Thank you, Dakota. Thank you very much. And I saw him bounding off. And like 2 weeks later, Cosmo came into our lives. So there is not a replacement for your cat. That's understood. But they will come back. He will come back in a different body. And I agree with, DoveLight, and I believe Hannah said it too, that he is watching over you and assuring that you're going to be fine. He is with you no matter what. And he has been with you before. He will be with you again. Send him that gratitude and let him go. Because we were talking about sovereignty. We've all got our own free will. He will come back at some point when it's the right time for you. But let him go and say thank you very much. You can still talk to him. You can still connect with him in those ways and communicate with him. He's still there. He's going to come back when he's ready, though, when you actually need him most. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susie. Tammy.
Hi, Stephanie. That was a cute video. Thank you. Very cute kitty. I agree with what everyone was saying, and a couple of the signs that came up for me that you're going to feel is a rubbing on your left leg and the snuggling at night. So those are the two signs that are strongest that he's able to do right now. And as far as coming back, what I heard was be on the lookout. It may not be as you expect. So if you are expecting a certain way, or if you're expecting a certain color or a certain species or something like that, just be on the lookout for whatever. It might not be as you expect. And also to make a list. It said make a list of the characteristics that you want me to have. So just dream and all your desires of how you want the relationship to be, and maybe look back at the other one and say, oh, I'd like to tweak this a little bit or whatever. But anyway, make a list of the characteristics that you'd like. And I agree with Susie to release the grief. That's really, really, he really, really, really wants that for you, like soon, like, and fully and completely. So what I got was to just to feel those feelings, those grief feelings, like your core, feel them as deep as you can feel them, and just scream or over the top, just be over the top in your anger or whatever you're feeling, just be really over the top with it. Be in your car, or somewhere where you're alone probably, or beat the pillows or something. Just really be over the top and getting those emotions out, and do it soon. He really, really wants you to get rid of that grief. And I was starting to write down, I thought I was going to write release your grief, but I wrote guilt. So it feels like you might have some guilt regarding the whole situation somehow. I'm not clear on what that is, but to dive into that and think about that, and maybe journal about it. Any guilt that you might have, just release it. It's not, if there is, or whatever guilt there is, just he doesn't hold anything. There's total forgiveness, complete and total forgiveness. Just please, he's like, please let it all go, let the grief go, let any guilt go, and feel me rubbing on your leg, feel me snuggling with you at night, talk to me like they were saying, have that communication, write it out. If it doesn't come easy to you and doing it in your head or out loud, write, journal, like journal what you want to say to them, or write a letter saying whatever you want to say, just write a letter to them. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that, because working at a veterinary hospital, I feel like I wish I should have. I feel like in my heart that I wish I could have done more, and that I feel like I should have seen certain signs more, because I don't know. I feel like I should have known better.
All is as it should be.
Exactly.
Always
So
as
thank you.
it
I
should
really
be,
appreciate that you said that.
is what he's saying. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, and this is next.
Hi. So the first image I got was of a bunny tail. So his fur was so soft, like extremely soft. And he loved being pet by you. The next image was a quilted calendar wall hanging, which is to remind you that the time you had together was beautifully crafted. It was the time that was needed to be together, and everything that you did together was in divine timing and was beautifully done together. You wove that quilt together. The next imagery was the wiggly pen, like it used to be back in the early 2000s, maybe it was the 90s, I don't know, where you get a pen, you could put batteries in it and it would wiggle around. So for that, it's about writing, that you are a writer. I don't think you know this yet, but you are a writer, you should write. And why the pen was wiggly is because you shouldn't worry about your grammar, your sentence structure. You should just write. So I almost wonder if that goes with what Tammy was saying about writing for releasing grief or releasing trauma. Maybe there is more to writing than just writing. Then I wondered, was there any messages from him for you? And the pufferfish came up. So it's to be careful of your anxiety levels and not to overexert yourself too much. You don't want to puff up. You don't want to go to an extreme. Then an old-fashioned steering wheel showed up. So your kitty is with you as you drive forward in life, being your passenger. So your kitty's with you. And the last imagery I got was of the Mickey Mouse ears. So remember to play, even during this time where you're feeling quite low and down, to remember to play and travel to have fun. If you can travel financially, or maybe traveling is a passion of yours, I hope that you travel and have fun.
It's actually really funny that you said a little bunny tail, because I had a little bunny and that was one of his little buddies. And we're going to Disneyland in April. So it's cute that you said Mickey Mouse ears.
It's great. You keep having pink ears up above your head too.
And Laureli, the interpreters are going to go ahead and switch.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay, great. And now let's find out if Thorne wants to share anything.
So not much to share, but I do have one little tidbit. Keep watching, keep listening, keep connecting, and keep interacting. Keep observing and make sure that if you're getting something, you respond. If they're coming up to you and they're sitting next to you, ask what's going on. How are you feeling? If they're avoiding you, just different behaviors like that. Pay attention to their energies and their moods. Because, that really does require you to really do the work and figure out what's going on, not only with you, but with them as well. So thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in and sharing and asking. All right, we've got one more question, and let's see. So the person is going to be sharing in the chat, and I have a little bit of information. I got to see if I missed something else. Oh, here we go. No. Okay, let's see. So so Kay is next, and I've got 2 photos from Kay. So Kay, if you have a specific question, go ahead and put that in the chat. I'll show the photos. So let's see. So there's a tuxedo. There's a tuxedo cat. It says, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. It says Oni-chan male, O-N-I-C-H-A-N. No specific question, just what comes through. Okay, let me turn up the brightness on my phone too, so you can see these better. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what comes through? Okay, so here's the male. Let me see if I can get the, not reflection. Yeah, I'm trying to not have the reflection on here. I can come back to the other photos, and then here's a gray is it says a Nala female, N-A-L-A. So here's I can try tipping the other direction too, see if we can see anything better. I come in. Just get my fingers out of the way. Yeah, so female. And then the male. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to avoid the reflection. And I'll bring back the female again. Yeah, I can zoom in on her face. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I can show them again if helpful. The gray one looks really playful to me. They both are really healthy. Like the gray one is kind of like a fey creature and teasingly playful. That's what I feel. All right, DoveLight's got something. Go ahead, DoveLight.
Oh, such a handsome, beautiful cats. Oh my God, I'm so distracted with their cuteness. I feel like those both cats are soulmates per se. They like to come in groups. They like to be together, really. They're telling me that if there is an answer that you have been seeking, something related into your life that feels like very important, is yes, that you have the divine magic card, which means that you have to understand and believe that everything that you want, it's possible. As long as you believe it, that you can have it, you will. And their cats are showing you that through their own behavior. Like for them, everything is for granted. They want water, you give them water. They want food, you give them food, you know? So they want you to understand that you, through whatever you believe, creator, divine, whatever you believe, you have that power to ask and it will be given. So whatever you genuinely want, you can have it as long as you believe it, they're telling me. And also telling me that like attracts alike. So when you bring, there is a situation in your life that you feel like somebody that doesn't resonate with your frequency might be there, then you ask yourself within yourself, like, what is a part within me that might be reflecting this person? Because when you work on clearing your energy, you're clear about what you want in life, you got that vibration that you will attract something similar that's for your highest good. So remember, the like attracts alike. They also they are very, very grateful that you give them the freedom to just go around and move around like a cat, whatever you want. They generally see you as a maternal figure. They generally do, like, they really feel like you're a very caring and giving person. They want you to know that you got the Queen of Wands, who also have a cat, at the bottom. So this is telling me, the cat, that you have to treat yourself as if you were a queen, with the confidence of a queen, they're telling me. So you will attract your kin, or whatever that resonate with you. That means that partnership, like, you have the power and the confidence to get whatever you want. You keep repeating this. I'm so repetitive because that's why I keep picking up. It's about confidence, about seeing the beauty that you are, and that you deserve somebody worth of that beauty, is worth of respecting you, worth of seeing you that way. That's what I'm picking up from now that the cats wants to say to you.
Thanks, DoveLight. They are very attached, like soulmates. That all resonated. Yeah. So Kay is thanking us for that. All right, Tammy's next. Go ahead, Tammy.
A sense of needing to belong, from Oni-chan, and I think that kind of morphs over to you too. To dig into that a little bit more, your sense of needing to belong. What does that mean to you, and what does that mean? What do you think it means for him? And self-care, more. Nala was saying, like to be brushed more, to be brushed and massaged, and the little details, just the little details for both, and again, for both you and for her. So those, to pay attention and to lay back and, like, slowly, like, I see this just slow brushing and slow self-care and taking care of yourself and her, and just I keep hearing focus on the little things, and then the little things become greater, and in your life too, step by step, one step at a time, one little thing at a time, and then you'll be where you want to. You'll suddenly be where you want to be, or where you need to be, where you're destined to be.
All right, great. Thank you, Tammy. Let's see who else is ready next. Yeah, thanks for your patience, everyone. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the messages to come in. I will meditate on this. I do need more self-care. I was sick for a few days, so I've been slacking in that area. Anissa's ready, I think.
Yeah, sorry. So I went through Oni-chan first and then Nala. And I think it's interesting with Oni-chan. Message for you was, I got an imagery of one of those ribbons that people use for different illnesses or disabilities. You know, the one that's, I don't know what that shape is called, but those ribbons, and it was a message of that you've just recovered from an illness, a disability, or some sort of trauma. And he wants you to recognize that happened, and that there should be some gratitude now that you're feeling better, and to try to keep that gratitude of where you're at, of feeling good and appreciating your good days. And then as far as just who Oni-chan is, One of the first images I got was of a window. So loves to watch and be observant and loves the outside. Then I got an imagery of a buffalo. So very strong and steady and resilient in his personality. But at the same time, then I got Kermit the Frog, that he can be funny and wacky in moments too. And then with Nala, just extreme regal and elegance. It was a crown. And then I got an owl. So Nala is also very observant, the 360 view of the surroundings of you and of your journey. I would say Nala is more in tune with you than Oni-chan is, that Nala pays more attention to you. And then I got a cowbell. So she's a grazer who would like food more often, or to have it available at more times. And a message for you from Nala was actually from the video game Zelda, the Triforce. And for that, the character was very resilient in strength, and they had to go on these trials and tribulations. But they, like most video games, they overcome these trials and tribulations. So you may be feeling that you're in the middle of something right now, but to remember that you are resilient, you do have the strength, and that Oni-chan and Nala are there with you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Anissa. All right. And Kay says, thank you. He does like the outdoors too. He likes to spend time in the garden on nice days. The owl has been my guide this last year. Nala definitely pays attention to me more. All right. Yeah. Anyone else have a response for Kay? And I can show the photos again if helpful. Yeah, just check in, everyone. Just take your time. Yeah, if anyone, if Thorne, if you want to see the photos again, let me know.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Looking around here.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. Sorry, not sure what was coming through. All right, just waiting just to check and see if there is anything else. Yeah, all right, that might be all we have, Kay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your question. All right, well, it's been a lovely panel tonight. We're going to have the practitioners go through and share who they are again and how you can reach out to them if you'd like to connect with them offline. I recently put their information in the chat. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat again. And then also, maybe first I will put in, we'd love to get your feedback on tonight. There is a feedback form if you are willing to fill it out and give us your email address. We'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. One of the practitioners on the panel of your choice. Yeah, and we'd love to just hear about your experience, etc. All right, well, maybe let's go in the same order we were going in before. I think that was Susy, Tammy, Hannah. Maybe, no, Susy, Tammy, Anissa, Hannah, DoveLight, and Thorne. Susy, go ahead.
Thank you all so very much. This has been really great. And I so enjoy the questions and sharing space with the other practitioners and the interpreters. Thank you very much, y'all. I'm Susy Parker Goins of Blue Lightning Healing. You can reach me at Susy, that's SUSY, at bluelightninghealing.com. That's my website, bluelightninghealing.com. And I've got links to all of my podcasts on there. Offering up 20% off a longer session. And that's MeWe, MEWE 20 that you can do on checkout. And yeah, this has been great. I am so grateful to have this opportunity to share all this love and all this light with everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Susy. Tammy.
I'm also honored and grateful to be here. This has been so much fun. It's just been wonderful. So love it. I'm Tammy Joyful. And my website is tammyjoyful.com. My email is tammyjoyfulguidance@gmail.com. And I'm offering $40 for a 30-minute session. And you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Meetup, Instagram, LinkedIn as Tammy Joyful. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thanks so much, Tammy. Anissa.
Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. everything that was said and done tonight. I appreciate it so much. And as I'm Anissa Jade. My website is anissajade.com. That's ANISSAJADE.com. I can also be reached by text at 541-325-4441. And again, I do intuitive readings and animal communication. Always wanting to learn more. So I love these events where we can all learn from each other as well.
Great, thank you so much. And next we have Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah York with Holistic Healing by Hannah. My website is holistichealingbyhannah.com, and I can be reached at hannah@holistichealingbyhannah.com. And it was just wonderful to be here with all of you. Thank you for practitioners and participants for sharing your animals with us. It's a wonderful group of people tonight, and look forward to seeing you guys at the next event.
Thank you. DoveLight.
Okay, go ahead, my love. DoveLight, what's an honor and blessing to be here. It was generally a lovely, 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 lovely evening. And remember, if you're still practicing your animal communication, you can always relax with barking, meowing, chirping. It has to be fun. You have to be able to relax. These gifts are so extraordinary because they're just really ordinary. So don't take it too hard. Just light it off, light it off. I'm DoveLight. You can find me at DoveLightOracle.com. I'm putting a discount coupon for 20% any session of choice. I do the readings so we can see how the energy is going on in the present. From there, perhaps we can do a session related to shifting an energy that might need to be shifted. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you, everybody. That's it. Thank you, MeWe Fairs, and thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, DoveLight and Thorne.
Hello, everyone. This was such a wonderful night. I'm so happy to have been here with all of you. Oh, thank you. My name is Thorne. This is my name sign. I work with tarot cards, astrology readings, energy work, just a variety of different things. And all of my information you can find at www.spiritoracle.com. My Instagram is going to be Spirit Oracle at heartofoak8.com is my email. And I am email accessible, and that's also heartofoak8. I went through everything. Tonight was really special, and what I remembered most. Oh, nope.
For correction, that's our my special tonight is going to be a half-hour or hour session.
And that will be, I can do astro charts, tarot cards, and again, everything that I've got. So know that I'm always ready for that, and I plan for that. I'm here to support you all. Oh, did I get everything? Yep, that's everything. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I truly, truly enjoyed chatting with everybody. Thank you to the panelists, the participants, the interpreters, everybody. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Great, thank you so much. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and matchmaker. You can find out more about my work at intuitiveeyereading.com or matchmakingsoulmates.com. And I have a 20-minute complimentary mini session and chat about what it would be like to work with me, and I'll give you some samples of my work. Then we at MeWe Fairs have so much happening. We have, coming up this Saturday, we have a practice circle where you can come practice your intuition and practice whatever modality you have been learning with your peers. A few of us hold the space for you to do that. safe container. And then Sunday, we have a panel on opening to possibilities. Then the following Tuesday, we have a panel finding your soul family. And coming up on March 13, we have spiritualists sharing messages from the deceased, so mediumship panel. And then we are also in person coming up later in March. We will be in Linwood in the Seattle area. March 18, 19, we'll be in Portland, March 25, 26, and we'll be in Eugene, May 6 and 7. We had our largest fair ever in Bellevue in the Seattle area just a week and a half ago with 92 booths, and I'm looking to exceed that in Linwood. We already have over 80 booths signed up, and we've got a few more weeks to go. So come have a great big party with us in Seattle. We've got over 25 talks scheduled. We'll have 2 intuitive panels where we do brief answers of audience questions like we do in this whole panel, but much shorter. And we're going to have a special evening event on Saturday evening. We have Amanda Gale does a mediumship event. And then Sunday morning, we're going to have a heart space sound bath again. So all kinds of things happening here in Linwood in Seattle, March 18 and 19. And we are looking at expanding to other cities. We're looking at going further south to Oregon, to Ashland. So stay tuned for a date on that. And we're exploring some other states as well. Thanks everyone for being here. It's being here all together, doing this together with you, the audience, holding space, learning together, asking questions, allowing us to answer questions, and practitioners, right? All of us supporting this and interpreters being here. So Thorne can be here as well and we can reach more people. So thank you everyone so much. You can learn about all of our events at MeWeFairs.com.